For decades, we measured diet by one simple rule: calories. Yet persistent hunger and weight loss plateaus revealed a missing piece in that calculation. Researchers began to look beyond energy alone toward nutritional biochemistry. One nutrient stood out as a regulator of how much we eat: protein. We call it the protein rheostat. Like a control knob, protein intake influences appetite signals and determines the intake of fats and carbohydrates. In this film, we will trace that mechanism from meals to molecules, examine the evidence, and offer practical steps for optimizing protein intake. Our pace is measured. We will slow to understand the why and the how, not merely the what. Key ideas will be emphasized and repeated for clarity. First, a concise definition. The protein rheostat is the biological system by which dietary protein adjusts appetite regulation and downstream energy intake. Protein influences hunger through multiple pathways. It triggers satiety hormones, alters amino acid profiles, and modulates brain circuits that govern reward and intake. Key hormones include peptide YY, glucagon, like peptide 1, and cholecystokinin. These circulate after meals and signal the brain to reduce appetite. At the same time, protein increases thermogenesis and preserves lean mass, altering energy expenditure and the composition of weight change. Amino acids themselves influence neurotransmitters. Tryptophan and others change serotonin and dopamine balance, subtly shaping motivation to eat. Together, these signals act like a rheostat. Low protein sets appetite higher, increasing carbohydrate and fat consumption to meet a protein target. Conversely, raising protein dampens hunger, reduces cravings, and naturally lowers overall calorie intake without conscious restriction. To understand control, we must zoom in. Cells in the gut sample nutrients and release hormones that communicate with the brain via nerves and circulation. The hypothalamus integrates peripheral signals with internal energy states. It adjusts appetite, metabolism, and behavioral drives accordingly. Protein alters insulin dynamics and amino acid ratios, both of which modify neuronal sensitivity to hunger and reward cues. Animal and human studies show consistent patterns. When dietary protein rises, spontaneous calorie intake drops, and body composition improves. Importantly, protein quality matters. Complete proteins provide the amino acid signals most effective at engaging the rheostat. Timing also influences signaling. Distributing protein across meals sustains satiety signals throughout the day, rather than concentrating them at one eating occasion. Large meta-analyses and controlled trials converge on the same conclusion. Higher protein diets improve satiety, preserve lean mass, and facilitate weight management. In free-living studies, people spontaneously reduce caloric intake when protein rises, often without conscious effort or hunger-related struggle. Clinical populations, including older adults, benefit from protein-focused strategies to prevent muscle loss and reduce frailty risk while regulating appetite. Yet individual responses vary. Genetics, baseline diet, and protein source all influence the rheostat's set point and effectiveness. Researchers stress practical dosing ranges rather than extremes. Moderate increases, sustained across meals, produce reliable benefits without undue burden. Taken together, the evidence supports viewing protein as a central lever in appetite regulation, not merely a macronutrient. Among many, how to apply this knowledge: prioritize high-quality protein at each meal, aim for a moderate increase relative to typical intake, and distribute it evenly. Choose complete proteins when possible: lean meats, eggs, dairy, fish, legumes combined with complementary plant sources when needed. For many adults, a sensible target is roughly 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, adjusted for body size and activity. Small behavioral changes help. Plan protein first when shopping. Use simple recipes and track how hunger and cravings shift over weeks. Remember variability. Consult professionals for precise needs, especially with medical conditions, pregnancy, or advanced age. In sum, treat protein as a rheostat, not a side note. Adjust it thoughtfully, and the body often follows, reducing hunger and improving metabolic outcomes.